What up guys, welcome to the video forecast and trade recap for the final day of the week, which is Friday of course. Market closes in a couple of hours and I'm trading for 3 more hours. Only taking high probability setups because it is Friday afternoon. So I'm trading until I think it's 4 p.m. London time. Then that is my cutoff time, and then I stop with everything. I stop watching the charts and I just manage the trades that I am in. So currently I'm not in any trades. I did not take any trades from yesterday, but let's see the market. First we have EU. Now this is stuck in a range, stuck in a flat wide range, which is not a good sign. Now we do have some pushes to the upside, some huge wicks to the upside. Also, we do have some wicks to the downside, but I'm seeing some momentum up, and I'm seeing some momentum start to push up. But I do want to see what happens in these, let's say, liquidity areas above and below the range. So we do know that people keep their stops in these areas, and we do know that the price can easily push into it and reject. So it is very important how we reach these areas. Currently what I'm looking for this, if this will continue up for a nice flag, to give me maybe a nice flag, or maybe to start a nice uptrend, get maybe a break and retest further up. Now I'm not expecting anything today, but maybe next week on Monday. Also I'm seeing if we maybe ascend into the upper liquidity area, get a push down, and then we get an opportunity to sell. Or another thing that can happen, we can get a V reversal, a range, a push down, and then an opportunity to sell. Again, a very high probability setup, but we then need to watch out what happens in the liquidity areas below the range. So this is not looking that good, but I am seeing some momentum here. My recommendation is to be more patient with this pair. So we know EU, rarely we get the setup, and when we do, it really needs to look really good. So we can move on. Euro Japanese yen, we have broken out of the range. So let's zoom out a bit. Let me first move my silly lines. So just a second. As you can see, we broke the high and retraced, unfortunately. So that's a warning sign right there. So there is a range right here, wide flat range, of course, liquidity area above the range, which we have now reached and retraced. Warning sign, of course. Now that is also a good lesson. So we do see some nice momentum here, but what is important is what happens when we break the high. And in this case, we broke the high and we retraced, leaving a wick. So what I'm expecting now is for this just to retrace, give us a range. What I'm looking for to look for potential trades is for this to continue pushing up, give us a nice flag or a nice break and retest further up. Now I would probably not take a break and retest at this point, since we just broke the high, retraced, and then we would break another high and just retrace. Yeah, so not really looking for a break and retrace and then another break and retrace. I want to see it continue and push up a bit more, especially since it is a Euro pair where we need to see that nice continuation. So also what can happen, we can get a V reversal, then a range, then a push down, and then a flag to go short. That can also happen. Or we can start to ascend here and then get a nice opportunity to enter on a reversal. Now that all depends on the price action, and we will see what happens on Monday. So not really expecting anything for this Friday, to be honest. For the Aussie pairs, Aussie US dollar stuck in a range, stuck between the low, stuck between the high. So flat range, really obvious. What I'm waiting for is I'm waiting for the break of the high or the break of the low. Liquidity areas have formed, so let's see what happens in these liquidity areas. Do we just break and retrace, or do we actually break with some nice momentum? So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for that large momentum up and then an entry, or that large momentum down and then a nice entry to go short. Also do look if we maybe ascend into the upper liquidity area, get a reversal down. Or if we descend into the lower liquidity area, get a nice reversal to the upside, something like this. So that is it for AU. Nothing really to say, waiting for the break of the low or the high, stuck in a range. Prior price action, not that good. We had a huge wick aggressive retrace, broke the high retrace, so expected this range, to be honest. So let's move on to the Aussie Japanese yen. This one it doesn't look that bad actually. So if I was a betting man and I would have to bet which pair has the most potential, then AJ would be that pair. So the prior price action was trending a bit, not a large trend, but an okay uptrend, as we can see here. Then we broke the high retraced again, left wicks both times, ranged around, which was to be expected. So a range, broke the high retrace, broke the high, continued with a clean close, continued with an arc candle, and now we have a pullback. So for me personally, I will look if we get a candle up, a clean close, and then a break and retest trade. For me, that would fit my plan, but I need to see that nice clean close push to the upside after this particular candle. So let's see if we get that, or we get maybe another push, a nice flag. So yeah, I'm trading for, I think, 4 more hours. If an entry forms, and if it's a high probability entry, I will enter the trade. So not really looking for anything, but I am keeping my eyes open for that high probability setup. We don't want to get FOMO and just enter on crappy trades. If this starts to ascend, then you know that it's highly likely to reverse down. Or if it starts to show us a V reversal, look for range, look for a push down, and then a flag to go short. So yeah, for this Friday, the only setup I can project, so I can forecast, is that nice push up with a nice clean close. The rest of the setups would need too many hours to form, so I would not take them anyway. On Monday I'm being a lot more patient, especially since after this losing streak on Mondays and Tuesdays are really some crappy trades. So I will be a lot more patient, I have to say. But let's see what happens. This pair has the most potential out of all of the 6 pairs. Moving on, GU is still stuck in range. As you can see, I don't have my lines here. I'm trying to move away from the lines, and this is a really simple pair to trade, so there are not a lot of setups on it. So when I see a setup, it really needs to stick out and really be a no-brainer. So I'm not using lines, it's still stuck between the most recent high and the most recent low. Of course, we have the liquidity areas below and above the range, and I'm just waiting for a breakout to the upside or a breakout to the downside. That is all I'm waiting for. So that large push up, something like this, or a large push down, and then something like this. Of course, I'm also seeing if we maybe ascend, then you know not to look for a long trade, or if we descend, don't look for any shorts. I'm not looking for a reversal on this particular pair, so this is a no-no for me. I'm not looking for any reversals on GU, only continuations and only those large momentum impulses. That's why it's a really simple pair to trade. Final pair, so New Zealand Japanese yen, looks really range bound. I would not say it looks bad, it just looks really range bound. Why would I not say it looks bad? Because usually after a long consolidation like this, that is for the last 10-15 days, we usually get a nice trend up or a nice trend down. So let's see what will happen. Of course, we have the liquidity areas below and above the range like this, and let's see how we reach those liquidity areas. So do we just break and retrace, or do we actually get a nice trend and then a nice opportunity for a continuation trade to the upside, or a nice trend down and a nice opportunity to enter on a continuation to the downside like this? Patience definitely on this pair. It looks really heavily range bound. This current price action, not promising. We're just creating a descending structure. Just a sec. Just creating a descending structure going into this ascending structure. So I'm expecting a larger range. Be more patient, especially with this one. That is it for the forecast. Eyes on AJ. Rest of the pairs look crap. So yeah, wait for the next week maybe, and be patient on Monday and Tuesday. But then Wednesday we can start to look for some setups a bit more. I would not say aggressively, but keeping our eyes open a bit more, definitely. That is it, and I'll see you guys in the next week.